Discuss after that game between Wolves and Arsenal. Late drama, but it does mean that the Arsenal fans have been left disappointed after they weren't able to take maximum points this evening.
This is a massive one. Why can't the referee just say, let's stop the game and let's go back 30 seconds?
Yeah, I heard quite a few people ask that question. I understand why people would ask that question. And actually, the VAR and the AVAR asked themselves that question too. When the penny dropped as to what had happened, I think 20 seconds had passed. And at that point, they considered whether or not they could intervene to stop the game, but they recognise that the laws of the game as set by FIFA and the International FA Board doesn't allow that. There's obviously a process in place that sits in the laws of the game about how we use VAR to make sure it's delivered consistently throughout every league in the world, and it doesn't allow you to go back in those circumstances, and as such they decided not to intervene. But I understand why that question was asked, and I know that the International FA Board are, in fact, before this situation happened, I knew they were going to do a full review of the laws of the game relating to the use of VAR. It's been in place for 7 years now. When it was written, there'd never been a game utilising VAR anywhere in the world. They put a protocol in place, and it served the game really well. But now we've got lived experience of situations like we saw this week, then, we can feed into that as well. And the IFAB will look at whether or not there's a need to tweak some of it. And I'm sure that they'll be looking at this aspect of how VAR is used as well. Was the referee aware of all this that was happening around him as the game was going on? No, it wasn't. I know people talked about, the expression on his face, giving a telltale sign that he knew, but he didn't know at all till the end of the game. I think it's better if you don't know. You want to stay focused in the moment. You don't want this in your mind when you're trying to make decisions throughout the rest of the game. So I think it's better that he doesn't know, and in this case, he certainly didn't, and nor did any of the other on-field officials. Just
picking up on that, in terms of Arsenal not scoring enough goals, which is what Alan was saying, where do you think that's coming from? Because when you are top of the table, you need to be at the top of all of these sort of statistics, don't you, to be able to win the Premier League?
Well, they're top of set plays, and that's the one that's kept them up there. But I said at half-time, it seems whatever they do, they fall over it. Seems to be a pattern. And we're talking during the game, me and Connor, I can't believe how many times they give away the ball so cheaply. It was so cheap, instead of dictating the game 1-2-0 up and then keeping it and going across that way, drawing Wolves out. They give away, I don't think they put 3 or 4 passes together at too many stages in the second half. And when you're playing against, and I'm not going to get away, Wolves are not a great team. They've got 9 points before tonight. So, they're not the team that we're expecting, that we expect Arsenal to come back from 2-0 down and get a draw with Arsenal. They've got to be more patient. They're forcing it, but they're playing in second gear. And it reminds me, when we won the league years ago and it was 1-0 to the Arsenal, it feels like that to me. It feels like we'll get a goal, we're all right now, we won't let in any more goals, it'll be solid. But it doesn't happen. We said that you're always going to get a chance in this football nowadays. And, and fair play to the young kid. The young kid's goal's a good goal. When you're a 19-year-old kid, you've come on for your debut and that ball bounces down, everything's going through your head. And for him to keep that ball like that, it could become a Man City hero, let alone a Wolves one.